this right here, you bunch of prima donna ballerina mother.
Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are doing our regular MLB divisional betting update show with Doug Upstone. Today is Monday, July 21st, so the second half is just underway, and right now we're going to take a look at the NL Central. Doug Upstone, thanks for being back with us.
My pleasure to be back here, Peter. And yes, this division has tightened up like Kim Kardashian in a leather jumpsuit. Boy, oh boy, things have really gotten tight here, and it says it'd be pretty interesting unless you're a Cub fan.
Did you write that yourself, Doug, or?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Not bad. Okay. NL Central, let's get to it. Now, the forecast from the last video, a little bit up and down. You said bet on Milwaukee. I can't really say that I would ever disagree with that. In general, they're a pretty undervalued team this year, but they did go 6-13 since our last video, an ROI of minus 40%. So that was obviously a bad call. You said bet on St. Louis unders. They went 10-10 over-under, and you said bet against the Cubs, which is, again, something that I'm always, in general, agreeing with. They went 8-13 for a negative 13% ROI. So not too terrible in general, but you missed the big recommendation that I keep giving you, Doug Upstone. Bet on Pittsburgh plus 17% ROI since our last video.
Maybe I'm just stubborn. I guess that must be it, you know? And the thing is, Peter, I still don't like them going forward, and I can explain to you why when we get there if you want to cover it right now.
Let's get to it right now because Doug Upstone, you know damn well, you remember in our previous videos, I said, man, bet on Pittsburgh. They've been winning and cashing, one of the most profitable teams in baseball since I said it, but you're still, disagreeing with that. Go for it. Why?
Great call by you. I just, I missed out on this one. I still don't like this team. Again, they're starting pitching across the board in the division. They're basically either third, fourth, or fifth in their division with all their pitching aspects. Their offense continues to struggle. In the division, they're 22-30 this year so far, and there's going to be a lot more division games in the second half of the remainder of the season. Plus, they got 4 games at Detroit. They go to Atlanta for 7 games. Not at Atlanta. They play Atlanta 7 times. They play Washington, I think, 3 more times. And they have the Dodgers and San Francisco 3 each. So besides the division schedule, you have all that. I just don't know where the offense is going to come from, and I don't know where the pitching is going to come from. You might be right, Peter. I might be wrong. But right now, I'm going to stick by my guns and say Pittsburgh is not going to be a play-on team.
All right. Well, we will see. There's still a play-on team for me. I just see their lineup as pretty productive, a little bit underrated, and their pitching staff is not flashy but decent. One thing, though, that we can definitely agree on, and we have agreed on all year, is bet against the Cubs. You said that last video turned out to be just as profitable as ever, minus 13% ROI, which is exactly what you expect. As of right now, they're minus 11% ROI on the year, and I think we continue to bet against them, right?
Without a doubt. As we mentioned in a recent video, they lost 40% of their starting pitching. This team does not hit well enough. The only salvation that I could see for them in terms of a spark is if they bring up Chris Bryant or Javier Baez, from the minor leagues to see if it does anything for this team. But there's no pitching in sight, and if you can't pitch, you're not going to win.
Well, we're in agreement on that one, Doug. And the only other 2 notable trends since our last video, St. Louis and Cincinnati both have had winning records, and their ROI is positive about 10% since our last video. So, forecast for the NL Central. I guess we'll start with the Cubs. Bet against the Cubs.
I would continue to bet against the Cubs. I have been against this all year, but I'm going to say that for the short term, I would look to play on St. Louis. Their schedule is pretty favorable in the upcoming weeks, so I would look to play on St. Louis as they go along here. And the other team that I still like, and maybe I'm being just as stubborn here as I am with Pittsburgh, I still like the Reds. They had a lousy series in New York against the Yankees, but I still think this team has a lot of potential to go forward, and I like this club, and I have to have seen something that's going to prove me differently.
So you have 3 official forecasts for the NL Central: bet against the Cubs, and then bet on St. Louis and Cincinnati?
That is correct.
I'm thinking bet on Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, but you're not going with either of those, huh?
No. The Brewers pitching staff has dropped from basically they were like 3rd or 4th for the majority of the season, and now they're down to like 8th or 9th in ERA and on-base percentage in the National League. So that's a big concern for me. And as I said, Pittsburgh, I got to see it. I know they're coming. Maybe I'll be all wrong, but hey, you know what? For now, I'm sticking with it.
All right, well, we're going head-to-head on this one, Doug. We'll see who turns out to be right. We're both agreeing fade the Cubs as an official forecast, but in terms of play-on teams in the NL Central, you're going to take St. Louis and Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. We will very interested to see how this turns out. We'll revisit this next video. Thanks, Doug.